avalanche. Those tokens have surged recently. And as I mentioned on Twitter last weekend, I feel like the Ethereum gas fees wars got really hot and heated with a lot of prominent VCs saying this is unacceptable, it's becoming unusable. And I think that's fair. I'll tell you, Ash, just for fun, a while back we created some Decrypt NFTs. They were pretty stupid. They were just photographs of our dogs, photos of dogs of Decrypt staff members. And I thought, well, no one's gonna want these, and yet we got a few bids for like $6 US. So I went to accept one. I said, great, I'm gonna send this person the NFT. And OpenSea wanted $150 in Ethereum gas fees to accept a $6 offer. That's ridiculous. That's unusable.
So let's break this down for people particularly who aren't in the NFT space now and who haven't used Ethereum for a transaction. Let's explain to them what Ethereum gas fees are and some of the challenges on the network right now.
Well, this is a measure to keep the network up and running. And by the way, ETH is also always being burned as a measure that helps with the scarcity. And so the way this network goes, the more people that use it, the more activity that is happening, the more bogged down it gets, the higher the gas fees are. And at times when you see, say, a new NFT drop that's really hot, so Bored Ape Yacht Club, is one of the most prominent recent ones, very hip and cool. When Bored Apes have done something, whether it was a new drop of Mutant Apes, anytime there's some big prominent moment, the gas fees on the whole Ethereum network get thrown off and become really high. And a lot of people think that this defeats the purpose. I mean, the whole initial value proposition of crypto was faster and cheaper than traditional remittances, right? Like in the old days, your buddy is in a foreign country, needs money right away. You would have to go to the walk-up window at Western Union. They'd say, okay, that'll take 3 days and you owe us a $45 fee. And crypto was supposed to fix that. And you've got all these people who think Ethereum is incredible, Ethereum's the future. Well, now the gas fees are too damn high. And the gas fees are in a form of Ethereum. And on networks like OpenSea, these NFT marketplaces, you pay for everything in WETH, WETH, which is wrapped Ethereum.
Yeah.
I don't even want to go too far down the rabbit hole there. But the point is, to use the Ethereum network, there's a cost.
Ethereum doesn't meet its own ERC20 standard for being able to transact on it in the way that you would other ERC20 tokens. So what happens is you have to wrap it as an ERC20 token. And that's really why you'd use WETH rather than ETH.
So what a layperson really needs to understand is just that defenders of these gas fees who say, well, that's the cost of doing business, these are very often, unfortunately, people who are already crypto rich. So they don't mind. So,
right.
To go back to this kind of war of words that erupted over last weekend on crypto Twitter, you had some people saying, that's just the cost of transactions and that's because it's the best, most reliable, safe network. A lot of people talk about, well, the security. Ethereum has prioritized security. But I'm kind of with the critics in the sense that, it shouldn't become that Ethereum is a place where only the people who've been early enough to crypto that they've made a bunch of money and they don't mind eating these high gas fees can use it. Usability matters. Don't you want to onboard new people into crypto? And if the cost of a transaction is greater by orders of magnitude than the actual value of the thing you're trying to buy or sell, then what are we doing here, right? I have to pay $150 to sell someone an NFT for $6? It's just ridiculous. I don't see how that's defensible. This isn't the first time this has happened. Years and years ago, although of course the numbers of people, the volume was far, far lower, but CryptoKitties in 2017 and 2018 crashed the Ethereum network, or at least bogged it down. And what's interesting there is those were NFTs. We just weren't using that acronym widely. So, I don't want to send us too far down the rabbit hole here, but there are a couple examples in crypto, like the term NFT, of things that I think have become buzzwords and soon will just stop being used. Metaverse, even Web3 is starting to already become kind of uncool. It's been co-opted, but we just weren't using the term NFTs, but CryptoKitties were early NFTs, and the game got so popular that it slowed down Ethereum. Now it's happening again, but now it matters much more because the TVL, total value locked, is so high on Ethereum and on DeFi pools that this stuff really matters. Now, of course, I understand those who are, maximalists has become a dirty word, but ETH maxis, who say to the Solana fans, well, yeah, of course Solana is faster and cheaper because the numbers aren't even close. If Solana were to get much, much, much more popular, Solana would probably be bogged down too. And by the way, Solana already once crashed for almost 24 hours. So, it's hard to see a definitive winner per se.
By the way, we should also say that Ethereum is now just a skosh under $500 billion in market cap or total network value. So this is an extraordinarily important sort of protocol in the space, and also just in the world more broadly. I mean, in CryptoKitties, it was just the nerds who were covering this back in 2017. I know, I was one of them. It was a fascinating idea, but not one that had gained sort of mainstream currency the way it has now. I will, though, argue a little bit about the flip side of the argument. The reason why these protocols are so popular and the gas fees have risen so dramatically is because of the power of these networks to actually create value, to do things that were never possible before. The idea of NFTs is a fascinating one. We've focused kind of exclusively on the digital collectible art use case here, talking about it as a photograph of a dog, but NFTs really are a digital fingerprint that is unique to a specific token. NFTs can be wallet addresses, NFTs can be community membership, NFTs can be a mechanism for validating things, NFTs can be used for ticketing, for all kinds of applications that we're just beginning to scratch the surface of. So the idea that these gas fees are rising dramatically because of underlying demand for the network, ultimately it's a bullish sign for the interest in this space, but it does sort of begin the question, as you suggest, Dan, which is, how do we fix this problem when transaction fees are $120? I mean, you know, if I want to go do something down at Chase, people complain about paying $25 for a wire fee. This is, you know, 5x that. These are extraordinarily high numbers for low value transactions. This is a technology challenge, an economic challenge that has to be solved, or the space is not going to be able to just move forward and gain the wider purchase that its adherents and the people like us who are really passionate about it think that it can gain.
Ethereum people will tell you is, well, just hold on because ETH2 is coming. Ethereum 2.0 is coming. It's going to fix a lot of this. Now, of course, it's already kind of emerged that, you know, moving from proof of work to proof of stake, which, yes, it will use a lot less energy, but it might actually not really solve the gas fee problem so much. But it remains to be seen. But, you know, for months and months, we've been hearing ETH2 is coming soon. It's coming soon. Just hold on. So there's that part of it. Some people's retort is just wait. It's going to get better. But when we talk about NFTs, I mean, I tend to agree with you that, you know, we don't yet know what the best use case of NFTs is going to become. But to go back to my point about, you know, jargon and acronyms too, I think that the umbrella within NFTs is getting so variated and interesting that soon it's going to become a household name thing and you're going to stop hearing NFT. Like just today at Decrypt, we covered the fact that the Collins Dictionary came out and called NFT its new word of the year for 2021. Really big sign of how mainstream it's gotten. But I tend to think eventually everything will just be called tokens. You know, a token could be your Twitter profile picture, a token could represent a ticket, a physical ticket to a sports event, a token could be a cryptocurrency. But we don't need to, you know, distinguish between all the different types. They're all tokens. And, you know, I mentioned the NFTs that were just photos of our dogs. To be clear, I think that form of NFT is already close to dead. The celebrity cash grab, digital trading card, or just a static image. The cooler NFTs that are going to have value in the long term have to do something beyond just, here's a thing I can share. You know, either, like you said, it's tied to a ticket, it's a pass, it's your membership into a club, it gets you into events. You know, Bored Ape has done that. And regardless of what people think about the art, you know, some people think this is stupid, but I'm really impressed with the community and the fact that if you own an ape, it's a lot more than your Twitter profile picture. It's your access ticket into a club with all kinds of perks.
Talking of which, here's why I'm bullish about these challenges getting solved. I think that technology, if you look at the history of technology and development, problems of cost always get solved. When problems arise from things being too expensive, even if it's an order of magnitude too high, which I think most people agree that Ethereum gas fees are, this is a technological problem that engineers are very good at solving. It's not like, you know, waking up in March of 2019 and saying, oh my God, how are we going to come up with treatments for this terrible pandemic? How are we going to come up with a vaccine? Those are scary open questions that you can't figure out. Something like costs, I really think that given a long enough time horizon, whether it's 1 year or 3 years or 5 years, we're gonna get this sorted out. Am I being too optimistic here, Dan?
No, I think that, you know, history indicates you're probably right. I also have huge faith in the smarts of the people who are working on this, the devs. But there's a key issue maybe in what you just said. You said what, 3 to 5 years maybe? And the issue is, if this stuff is gonna keep growing, adoption needs to continue. And for now, adoption has been kind of in two forms, right? And neither one is really mainstream. Like we talk about, people say, oh, DeFi's gone mainstream. Not really, it hasn't. I mean, the amount of value is huge. The dollars are big. But if you look at the data on the number of actual users, i.e. individual human beings using DeFi protocols, it's something like fewer than 2 million people. That's very small. And so when we talk about adoption is wrong, adoption has been either crypto people, and that's not even us, that's people smarter than us. I mean, I don't know to the extent you're using these tools, but real crypto people who've already been using this stuff for years, so they're savvy and familiar, they speak this language. Or it's rich people, non-crypto people, who are just putting money into it, but they're using someone else. So institutional DeFi, what that really means is hedge funds and family offices that are giving their money to someone else who puts their money into these tokens. Neither of those, to me, really means mainstream. For it to go mainstream, the friction has to be dramatically reduced. I'm ready to buy an NFT. I want to buy an NFT, but it's so intimidating. And you and I might think, well, come on, no, it isn't. But if you think about it, there's a lot of steps. You have to go to an exchange and buy some ETH. Already, it's like, okay, so sign up for an account, connect it to your bank account. Do you feel safe? Okay, let's say Coinbase. All right, you feel safe enough. It's a publicly traded company. It's legit. Now you buy ETH. Now send the ETH to your MetaMask wallet. There's a scary moment where you send it and there's like 2 minutes where it's gone. Poof, where'd it go? Then you get the confirmation. Okay, good. The ETH is in my MetaMask wallet. Now you go to the NFT site and you pay in ETH. And it's like, for most regular people, that's a lot. So when you say it's going to get solved in a few years, it better get solved real fast. The gas fees and the usability, the UX.